Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Matt. This message is mainly for Emily, this video. Emily had some problems on her geometry quiz, so I just wanted to go over a couple things. First of all, most of these mistakes are nothing earth-shattering. Most of them are just, lettering and wording and notation mistakes, which is not too bad. I think the more important mistakes are things like fundamental issues and things like that. So the first one looks like a different question, was to give you a sequence of numbers or a series of numbers, and essentially each one went up by the next even number. The only thing is, I don't know if your teacher took out points for this. It's crossed out number and put in term. We're talking about sequences and series. We refer to them as terms, not numbers, which is fine. But I don't think they took off the points here. I think they took off the points here. So here it says sometimes AB is the same as BA, so it's line AB. So when I'm given line AB, sorry for my handwriting, and line BA, those are two different ways of giving the exact same line. So we can't reuse letters when we're in geometry. So AB, is supposed to be the most outer points on this line. A and B are 2 points on the line, and a line extends in both directions to infinity. So you can write them in whichever order you want. It really does not make a difference which order you write them in, but they are always the same. There's no way to write them. And the key thing is, it was BA and AB. It might, probably not. No, it would still be the same thing. But the key thing is that they're lines, okay, and that they have to go on forever. I believe that's what this. It came out a little blurry, so I don't know if those are line segments or lines, but regardless, they're always going to be the same. So I think that's where the half a point was lost. So let's move down to number 3 on this next section. Okay, so what is the intersection of two planes? And it says R, and it's line R. Okay, so notation things. If you're going to label a line by a single letter, a good rule of thumb to kind of keep in mind is that it has to be a lowercase letter. So if I'm going to call this line J, it should be J, like lowercase j, like with a little dot on top of it, okay? In this case, what you wrote in your answer was line R. And the big thing that gives away is it's an uppercase R. So uppercase letters are points, and this will be much more important later on in your year in geometry, is that uppercase letters represent points. Lowercase letters can typically represent sides and things like that. But typically, if we're going to use points, you need to give 2 points. So you had the right idea that says, what's the intersection of two planes? Well, R is, and remember, where two planes intersect, it's always going to be a straight line. So a good example is something like this, right? If you guys remember these, base 10 blocks or whatever they are, okay? So this is a plane here, this is a plane here, where they intersect is always a straight line, okay? So again, in this case, on your paper, this is the point R, it looks like. I don't know, you marked up your paper a little bit. You kind of can't write that. You can't write that that's line R. So it looks like Q, maybe? I don't know, you marked up your paper. So if you were going to say line QR, it would be line QR. So line segment R, which is I guess what you were trying to write, this is not a notation you can use. If it were R, it would be lowercase r, okay? And then you probably wouldn't put the line over it, you just write R, okay? So again, just be real careful. That's more of a notation mistake. So you had the right idea, it seems, that this plane intersects this plane on R, but again, it looks like this line would be QR, and it looks like there's arrows at the end, so it's a line, not a line segment, okay? Same thing you have here, you have AC, which I believe is this one coming across here, is skew to line J. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. It says line, comma, question mark, technically, not necessary. Yeah, it is. I mean, it seems to me that probably the answer your teacher was looking for was this one right here, which is AC. and then line J, or line J, or whatever this one was. No, that's not, no, it's got to be line J. I'm sorry. You marked up the paper, I marked up the paper. But it would be J, lowercase j again, though. And again, it's not a line segment. Those are arrows on the end. That is line J. So, yeah, I guess so. The key thing with skew lines is that they never exist on the same plane. So something like this line right here, this line right here, and this line right here are going to be skew. So we just said that a line is where two planes intersect. So there's one and there's two. So these two have this line and these two have this line. So these two have to be skew because they in no way exist on the same plane. The one thing you gotta be careful about is, say, like this line here and this line here, they appear to be skew because these are on the same plane, right? There's two planes here and two planes here. But if you think about it, artificially cutting this kind of in half, they'd be parallel, and therefore they have to be on the same plane. So just be careful with that. I think your teacher is just more going for your notation that this is a line, not a line segment, and that's fine. Again, lowercase j. Okay. The big question, however, seemed to be number 3 on the back because there's nothing written here. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. It looks like you have the right idea with these. So the question is, oh no, you do have 2. There's no question. Oh, it's -3. Okay, that would be why I didn't find it. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, so let's fix this. All right. So it says that find ST, so that's ST, the whole length, if the midpoint of SR, if Q is the midpoint of SR and QR is equal to 6. Okay, so the first thing you can kind of figure out is if Q is the midpoint of SR, okay, then these two, this part right here and this part right here, SQ and QR, are the same length. So this is 6, right? So what we can do is we can use this right here to solve for x. We can say that x plus 2 is equal to 6, and that's pretty straightforward. One step, review of algebra skills, probably why your teacher put this on the test, not a bad idea. And x is equal to 4. And now they want you to find ST, okay? So well, I know that, I got to fill it in. I know that ST equals x plus 2, right, first part. We'll put in parentheses, plus 6 plus 2x minus 3. And now, well, we know what x is. Let's just substitute. So I have 4 plus 2 plus 6. Again, those were the same. That's what we found in the first part. Plus 2 times 4 minus 3. Okay, that's 6 plus 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 3 is going to be 5, right? 6 and 6 is going to be 12. 12 plus 5 is going to be 17. So ST equal 17. Okay, so again, all these first few mistakes were just like notation things and things like that. No big deal. I'll leave this in for you so you can take a look. But you got to be real careful because there is a lot of notation in geometry. So again, don't freak out. It's not the worst thing in the world. But again, you want to fix these notation mistakes, and this is algebra, so you should know how to do this because you passed algebra last year. Okay. So anyway, I hope you have a good night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.